I'm going to see if I can get this thing started because clearly I suck at going live. I'll tell you that much. Good grief. All right. Can you folks hear me? It's showing here that you can, but I'm not sure if it really does. So if it does, yo, there you are. Go. All right. So I apologize. I shared a link and absolutely had it on private. So I completely suck at this. So Brian, Mr. Bees, Will, Aqua Balls, Gail Long, Brian, John Edwards, Juan Dong, Candy's in the house. That's what I'm talking about. I'm probably going to need a moderator for this one. So I've got some Buffalo Trace and Coke. Usually it's Crown, but Buffalo Trace is delicious. And so I want to just kind of overview of what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be fielding some questions. So if you've got the questions, go ahead and jam on them. If you don't have questions, then don't ask anything. But I want to talk about what the Big Fish Deal 7 was about. You know, everybody does their video. They tell you all the cool stuff, but they really don't talk about, they don't recap it. They just show you it while it's there. I do the same thing. VStag, what's up? And then I want to go over some things that I saw there. And in particularly, there is a product that somebody has, I don't want to say invented, but they're bringing to the market, which I think is a really cool idea. So, and then we'll talk about that tank, the Malawi tank. The tank you will not see tonight because there is a lesson to be learned. So first, I want to go over a product. Everybody's from Jersey, huh? Everybody's from Jersey. Drinking on the job, baby, all the time. So the company is called Watch 'em Grow. Aquarium Ruler, right? Aquarium Ruler. Now, secure ruler to aquarium with suction cups in a location where inhabitants normally congregate. With the ruler in a stationary position, inhabitants can be accurately measured as they congregate or swim by the ruler. Ruler can be removed with suction cups in order to measure inhabitants that are removed from the aquarium. Please keep out of reach of children, small choking hazard. So the guy has a business called Watch 'em Grow. He's an entrepreneur. And I was talking to Lisa Hober from Super Cichlids, and she's like, hey, Jay, you got to go check this out. I think it's a really cool idea. What do you think? Honestly, if he wants to do whatever he wants to do, he's going to do it. He doesn't need anybody's approval. But it was really cool to be a part of kind of a brainstorming. He brought a bunch, and I bought a bunch. And I bought a bunch because I do want to give them away. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but I think it's really neat. So one of the biggest things in the aquarium hobby, again, Watch 'em Grow is the guy's company. But the biggest thing in the aquarium hobby that, I don't want to say it's the number one thing, but it is a big, huge issue for me, is when folks are taking their fish out of the water, they're laying them down, and they're like, this is such a cool fish. You see how big he is? He's so pretty and colorful. And they're just laying them on towels, and then they whip out their measuring tape, and they're like, okay. The fish is just really trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with you, right? So this guy invents this. Yeah. It's a pretty neat idea. It's reusable, it's flexible, it's easy to ship. It comes with the suction cups. It's got his logo in there. Let me pull these off. It's got his logo right there. He's working on some new designs, so he'll have some different ones, but he started with Frontosa. And what's really cool is I'm going to show you on the camera for the first time that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. So pretty easy. Watch. Done. So now you can, I don't know if you can see that on camera because he does a good job of concealing it. But right here. Now I can accurately measure my fish. The other cool part is it can go in your aquarium if you like. However, I would recommend it being on the outside because, well, it just makes more sense to be on the outside. So I've got some really cool stuff coming up, so you might want to share this video. And it's not for me to get more people in here. It's to maybe increase the odds of winning some stuff. So I really thought that that was a phenomenal idea. It's going to be under 10 bucks. I thought the price should probably be around $7.99, $8 on average. You may find them a little bit more expensive. You may find them cheaper, but this will give you an opportunity to accurately measure and track your fish, especially folks with a big fish room. This is huge. I'm not being paid to endorse this. This is just a fish keeper, a hobbyist that has fish, that sells fish, and thought of a good idea, put it into an actual product. We all talk about these great ideas, but he actually put it into a product, and that's what you get. And I think it's great. He did the packaging, and guess what? He's got a patent. So don't go try to copy guy because he will eventually get you a cease and desist order, which honestly, I think is an amazing thing to protect yourself, especially your idea, whether it gets big or it doesn't get big, that's okay. He was willing to put himself out there. Actually, let me go get it because it's really far out there. And he was willing to put himself out there to make something. And there he was at the big fish deal. Just had him on this cool little hanger and it rotated. And I was like, hey, how much? He told me I think I bought 6 of them. So we'll be giving 6 of these away during this live broadcast from the room with the fish tanks and the vivarium and stuff. So I think it's a really neat idea. It's up to you to think that. Hopefully your local fish stores will start carrying this. Let's see if there's any questions other than people trying to figure out where each other lives so that somebody can rob them. Let me see. My pleco is easy to measure since he's always stuck to the tank. Yeah, that's different. your haps, your peacocks, your South American, your Central American, those guys, you know, I was talking to Adam C earlier today. And I was telling him about the idea, and he said, man, that's a really cool idea because there's a lot of people that probably over-exaggerate the size of their fish, 50% bigger than what it actually is. And this will help kind of regulate that. And so when you are after a fish and you see that, bang, you get, you know, an actual good representation of your fish instead of, you know, guys measuring their fish and giving bigger sizes than what they actually are. Now, let me update you on the fish room really quick. You have the Tropheus tank has some Anubias left, barely any plants. The Anubias are hanging on strong. The Tropheus, the Dardani, the gobies, and the penis head shell dwellers are doing phenomenal. I haven't lost one singular fish out of that aquarium. I'm not messing with it. I do want to put some plants in it. So I'm working towards that. Some fish are bigger than others. So I am working to get to that. Phoenix Aquatics 411 Legacy. What's up, man? Now, the tank you see behind you, I had some rough, I had some rough issues early on. I lost some fish. I figured it out. We got through it. And it's really stable. I'm having a diatom outbreak, which if you watch that video about diatoms, it disappeared in this tank. I'm going to do the same thing in that tank, and it will disappear in that one. I've got stuff I got to hang on the wall, but, you know, life. It's not that we don't have enough time to do this. We just don't prioritize. Matter of fact, what did you tell me, babe? You said you didn't have enough time? She said nothing. Because I say that all the time. How are the shrimps and all that? So good question. Actually, let me get to that. That is a good question, and I'll get to that in a moment. The vivarium is crushing it. Now, doing live from the computer is a little bit more difficult. So I thought I only had 2 dart frogs. I actually have all 3 still. So hate to say it, but I'm pretty legit. No, I'm getting extremely lucky with this vivarium. Since I switched the light, boom, the plants have exploded up front. I'm getting new, I don't even know what you call them, but like new blooms, so to speak. My fern is going straight up. It was curling, and then it just blasted open. And yes, Current USA sent me the 18-inch Pro. Yes, they sent it to me. I was asking if they were updating it. They told me yes, to wait. They would send me one to try out on the vivarium. And honestly, I have to say, I was utilizing a cheaper light prior to that everybody said was good, which it was, but it wasn't giving me the spectrum that I needed for the plants that were in there. And with a high humid environment, I was hoping that the plants would just take off and that, $20 light would work. It didn't. and it happens. So I put the current on there. It comes with the sweet remote, and my plants are doing 100 times better because I'm getting more growth, regrowth, and then some that have some water droplets that stay on it too long, such as the fern. They start to brown a little bit, but at the rate that they're growing, I have to trim at some point because they're almost hitting the top. So look for a video Sunday regarding the vivarium and plants all over the fish room. Thanks. So these Ninja Turtles I just picked up. You can't see the other one. Actually, you can. It's right there. That's the one Mark Casso, the original Leonardo, signed for Liam. And they're from NECA, not the New England Cichlid Association, but the actual toy company, and phenomenal. Just absolutely awesome. No, someone behind you with one. Not that Ninja Turtle. What? All those? What? Were you behind me? Oh, she was. I didn't know she was behind me. And she likes to play these little games. She thinks she's cute. Huh? She thinks she's cute. Do we have any questions before? Actually, the beta is doing perfectly fine. We had some issues which people had said, and I told them yes, I'd be removing the plastic plants. So there literally is just a rock in here. Let me see if I can show you. I'm going to turn the computer. Nope, I don't want to disconnect anything. But anyways, it's just a rock. I'll show it at some point. And he's doing really well. He's eating. He is killing it. Yeah, Flying Ninja Turtle hit me in the back. I'm going to sue. And he looks great. He could be better. I'd like to get him in a Planet Tank. What plants are you putting in there with the beta? They were plastic plants. I removed those. Now I'm probably going to go with like dwarf sag. Maybe some dwarf swords. I'm not sure. Maybe some micro swords. I have no idea. All I know is that he needs it. He's lonely and he needs to hide a little bit. And the only thing he can do is hide behind that rock. And Mindy is threatening me. If you could be the one Ninja Turtle, which one would it be? Look at L.R. Brett. It is a no-brainer. I would be Leonardo. However, I act more like Michelangelo most of the time. But the reason why I would be Leonardo is because this is going to sound so off topic of the Ninja Turtles. He has a discipline, a natural leadership that was given to him by Splinter. And he takes it seriously and he uses it, but he still can cut up a little bit, but he likes to keep everybody on track. And when they created the Ninja Turtles, they did a really good job at fundamentally giving you a group of 4, doesn't matter what they are, just 4 characters that had each quality that you would need in a good group. And that's why I would choose Leonardo. So thank you, Brett. So if you're looking for some cool stuff, LR Bretts will be judging at Aquashella for the little shrimpy shrimp contest. So if you're on here, you like shrimp, you have shrimp, you breed shrimp, and your shrimp are in the United States and you're breeding them here in the United States, go check out aquashella.com and you can get all that crazy, awesome stuff to sign up to show your shrimpy shrimps. And you won't be showing them against the international breeders because Lord knows you don't want to do that right now. They are just dominant. And so it gives you an opportunity to really see what's in the United States, showcase what's in the United States, and have an opportunity to potentially take home some cash. $500 is the grand prize. What's the best way to go about switching from gravel to Riff Lake mix from Carib Sea with fish in the tank without tank recycling? So Chris Palmer, that's one of those things where you're going to have something. So you want to prepare at the same time. And I'm actually going to talk after this about the Malawi tank. So what I would do, in my personal opinion, is I wouldn't do all of it, to be honest with you. I would keep probably about a quarter to maybe just over a quarter of the gravel in there and remove the rest. And I would keep a legit bacteria on hand, not as I'm learning, not because I work for Fritz Aquatics, but as I'm learning science, because they're giving me data, independent data from, third-party sources. Yeah, Mickey Mouse. Good job, Mindy. And what we can do, really, I don't think anybody's live stream has a wife that trolls them as much as I do right now. So when I do that, I will keep a real bacteria on hand, or I will just reduce the water after I add all the sand. It's going to be cloudy, so it gets ready for some fine filtering. I would reduce the water probably about 3 inches so that it's really, really churning that gas exchange. And then I would just watch my fish. I wouldn't be feeding, and I would allow the bacteria it's colonized, but it's going to be disrupted, to just kind of regulate themselves and to be back on track. So just be ready for ammonia spikes and be ready for cloudiness, and keep some oxygen going in your tank, and you should be perfectly fine. So question is your tank good enough already for live plants like the light for the beta tank? So question is your tank good enough? If you're talking about the Tropheus tank, it was 100% good enough. However, the Tropheus found them to be quite the treat in between meals. The turds. They decided the best way to get him to stop competing was to make him a judge. Dude, I remember when LR Brits was like rising into the scene, and he just exploded. I mean, from his room, his personality is, I'm going to say it, kick ass. He is one unique fish keeper. It is a treat to, one, be around him, two, to watch some of his videos. Because, I mean, let's be honest, you make videos on YouTube and they all can't be very good. I mean, I've got some pretty shatty ones, probably about 90%. But the dude's got some amazing abilities to breed. He's got a ton. I mean, outside, inside. He's a cool freaking dude. So Mickey Mouse, yeah, got it. Know of a good place to find fish communities groups nearby. Where are you located? Vanavert. The beta tank, are you just adding plants, or are you getting a new tank for him? I actually have a 14 by 14 by 14 that I'm going to take to work, put on my desk. And ideally what I like to do is get some more inhabitants with him. And I'm not sure what to do. I've been consulting with I have quite a few plant experts that I talk to, but most recently, Jennifer Williams, who is a beast when it comes to aquascaping. And she told me not to add shrimp with the beta, but I really want to. And Mindy's doing something, because I can hear her, that's not normal. And I just hope that he doesn't eat any of the shrimp if I do decide to put him in there. But let's get to that shrimp tank. So I haven't showed it. I haven't taken a picture of the Refugium shrimp tank. That's actually a cool fish. The Harlequin rasboras are really, 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 really nice. But I will look into it. I also have to find them if you know somebody. And I appreciate the insight. So the Refugium is doing well. However, the Malawi tank is not. So I'm going to propose the question right now. Ruben, what's going on? Fort Worth, Texas. Vanavert, they're working on a new group, but you got FOTAS, which is going to be in Louisiana, but it's Federation of Texas Fish Association stuff. I'm so bad. But it's a bunch of groups together. But there are groups. So if you want to private message me, I'll link you up with some folks in your area. And if you ever want to hang out, okay. I don't know what she's doing. She makes for a horrible live video. I apologize. She looks like the kid from Little Giants with the massive helmet on. So let me propose this question. Do you want me to talk about something from Big Fish Deal right now? Or do you want me to explain what in the living hell is happening with the Malawi tank? It has to be 3 of the same answers, and we'll go with that. Until then, let's hope Mindy doesn't do anything stupid. However, we want the Malawi update. No, that's 1. This is cool. Malawi. Wait, was that a Russian astronaut? I'm not sure. But if it was, Space Force will get her. She's ridiculous. She's absolutely ridiculous. Has Mindy been drinking too? No, surprisingly not. Every bait I've ever had ate shrimp. If you have a ton of shrimp, you don't mind some getting ate. The tank looks awesome. Thank you very much. All right. I've only got like 2 people. Actually, I guess I got my answer. Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. Are you voting for Trump in 2020? While I appreciate you asking me questions regarding the future of our nation, I will refrain from answering any political answers here on a live stream. However, that's it. The Malawi tank is in disarray, and that was the main reason for doing this video, is because I'm stupid, honestly, and I'm saying that in a way like I am legitimately stupid. Ruben Rivera, I really appreciate that. Liam can get some ice cream with this. Liam is having too much ice cream. Matter of fact, he's having soup right now with his grandparents. We're going to go pick him up this weekend. So Malawi tank is in disarray. I made an extremely stupid decision. I totally went against everything I have ever said. And I honestly had to pull myself back and say, look, you have to trust the process and not the source. You have to trust the process and not the source. So let me put you on the trip down catastrophe lane. Too much ice cream. Nonsense, poopy pants. Ray's Aquaria. If you don't know who Ray is, you have a serious problem. But if you do, congratulations, because she's awesome. And you should feel honored that you got to subscribe to her channel. No, what happened is everything was en route. I was waiting on some fish from somebody. And I was very anxious, very, very anxious. I had all of the fish left over from the previous 500 that didn't get murdered, so to speak, from when I was sick years ago, had the surgery, which was 2 years ago. And I lost all those haps. I kept those haps that I had left, and then I moved them eventually into this tank. 100% of them survived from the 500 to here, right? And I fully support Liam. So I put them all in here. Everything was good. So what did I do? I said, okay, I'm going to get some fish because I am super pumped to be back on the Malawi scene with you folks. Because honestly, you've dealt with me long enough being with Tanganyika. I thought it would be really cool. I really thought it'd be cool to bring this tank back. And honestly, the more and more and more I look at it, I get so frustrated that I made this stupid mistake. So I'm on the right track. Everything's good. I got some fish from Imperial Tropicals, which was freaking awesome. I got some fish from Trevor O'Shea, the Wonder of Cichlids, which was awesome. And I should have stopped. I should have stopped. I was on some sort of African cichlid quest, like everybody is, like, sup, brah, check out my cool fish, ordered from like 37 bros, put them all in the tank, looks like a bunch of limp hot dogs just chilling in a glass box, super pumped, cool Universal Rocks background, feeding north fin, choo, right? I was back. I was feeling the freaking Malawi fever, so to speak. I have not been immunized by Malawi fever. Therefore, that's why I contracted it again. And no, I do not clean any of the algae, which that is not algae. Those are diatoms. However, that's a video you can watch, which was a couple videos ago. But I get down to you. I'm not even going to say. So I was down to Universal Rocks. I was picking up some things. The tank wasn't really clearing up. It was getting to a point, and then I think because I just kept, pushing it and pushing it and pushing it well. I wasn't allowing it to stabilize itself. Like I tell folks, I say, look, you need to chill. Limp hot dogs. Now he's hungry. Tell people to chill out, man. Don't get into your tank. 90% look, 10% touch. I was preaching, but I wasn't practicing. And I was like, I need some more fish. And somebody tells me, look, I got some 3 bad mamba jambas, some bad fish, a 5.5 inch Taiwan reef, a 6.5 inch, I measured, a 6.5 inch, a white knight, and a good 5 inch lemon jake. Had to have them. Had to have them. Have you set up your Serene LED kit on any of the tanks? No, I'll talk about that too in a minute. So I asked this person. Now, this is a funny story. I said, hey, man, I'll take them. He's like, cool, this is how much they'll be. I'm like, what? You're gonna charge me? He's like, yeah. So I'm trying to work a deal. And the reason why I asked that is because the guy that originally bought those fish bought them from somebody after he saw one of my videos. So this person buys those fish and then gives them to my friend. And so my friend was then trying to make money off of me. I still paid him. So Super Bowl Sunday, he comes up, he drives an hour and some change with the fish in a bucket, nothing else. Does anybody want to guess what I did next? Just take a guess. Just take a wild guess. I'll wait. Because if you know how stupid I was, I made the mistake. Mindy, put a sock in it. Brian Paul hit the nail on the head. I didn't have a quarantine tank set up because honestly, I was anticipating all the fish being there at one time. They were all going to go into the tank. So regardless of what was going to happen, I was still going to have to treat them. However, I was stupid enough to allow 3 fish that were in a bucket, ice cold, in a damp Super Bowl Sunday. Yes, the Patriots won. Thank you. I put them right in my aquarium. The Taiwan reef looked like it had been slapped around in a freaking cheese grater because they were fighting. Not that kind of starfish. You sick son of a biscuit. I put them in there, right? Trust the source, not the process, right? Trust the process, not the source. Every time, trust the process, not the source. I don't care who you're getting fish from, why you're getting fish from them, how you're getting fish from them. I don't care if it's your grandmama and she's the best breeder or live bear keeper or shrimp scholastic awesome person. You quarantine it no matter what. However, if all of the fish are going into an aquarium at the same time, to me, there's no real reason to quarantine. Yeah. So what do you think was the first issue to arise in the aquarium? We'll make this a little bit interactive. I didn't quarantine the 3 fish. At that point, there's probably 15 fish in there. Probably should have did a video on it. But what do you think happened next? Look at Susan. Susan for the win. Ick. Easy, right? Easy to treat. Easy to get rid of. Perfect. I know what to do. I've done research. I've watched some YouTube videos. I've talked about it a time or two. So I even treat because it's such a massive tank and so fresh and so clean that I decided I'm going to just do my thing and I'm going to put in methylene blue. Well, if you've never used methylene blue, you know that what happens? Turns everything blue, right? So my tan sand, in essence, went to gray. I had exposed pieces of rock and shells and things like that go blue. Not a big deal, but I've got shrimp below. I've got plants below. And methylene blue can have a negative effect on plants. However, it's okay for shrimps. It's okay for snails because I got some snails in there. But everything is blue. Everything. I mean, my shirt, my face, my lips, my neck, my back, everything was blue. It worked. No more ick. So I'm treating. I dose again because even though I don't see signs of it, I don't trust ick. Ick is like that friend that comes around and is like, hey, bro, you got like $20 I can borrow? Why is it always $20? And then you give that person the $20, which is the methylene blue, and they disappear, right? But if you don't treat again by just saying, hey, don't come back for the $20, they end up showing back up just like ick. So you've got to make sure your tank's operational. And I did. Fish were looking good, so I thought. Everything was good. I seen no signs of ick. And then what happened? Guess what happened next? I'll wait. I'm getting low. Mindy wants to troll. She can troll. Mindy, will you give me another drink, please? Let's see. Gift that keeps on giving, like herps. Absolutely. They didn't die. Well, we'll get to that in a moment. But just take a guess at what else. No, mini cycle was not an issue. I'm ready. I've got beneficial bacteria on hand. I've got Turbo Start. I've got Fritzzyme 7. I'm working at Fritz. I have access to all this stuff, which thank the fish gods for allowing me the opportunity to work at a company that, makes really good products and that I can use. Like, huge. Can I buy a vowel? Absolutely, buy a vowel. Oakville, it was not red velvet. It was not a parasite. Devin, you're close. Fish gulping for air. No, oxygen was good. Shrimp were shrimptastic. The snails were splendiferous. I'll let one more come through. It's not worms. I'll give you a hint. I'm noticing that I'm not seeing a fish or two, right? So typically when an African cichlid has places to hide, dead plants, no, dead plants was okay. The plants actually survived for the most part. They got a little weak, but they are thriving again. So I get real close. You know that close where you're like, how's that? How is that fish? And you're like wiping off the glass and you're looking, you're like, he doesn't look right. Did he eat a pellet? I'm not sure. Did he? Where? Come on out now. Let me see your face. You know that feeling when you're looking for your fish? Well, my Malawi came swimming out, and it looked like somebody hit him from about 600 yards with a 308. Wasn't see-through. But sure as shiitakes, man. He had a dime size, almost perfectly circular. I didn't invade your space, Candy. You knew it was coming. I mean, almost perfectly circular. And it looked like all of his scales were gone. And what happened? I started to notice other fish had a couple of little issues. So I get closer. I won't get close this time. And I start seeing what appears to be, you would think sucked on, right? You would think sucked on, caught in the overflow of the sump. No. So I'm running through the book of issues. Matter of fact, I got a really cool chart that talks about how to treat and what you're looking for. I thought maybe fin rot, but typically, it's there. Rubbing, possibly, but that is a lot of pain. So I kid you not, my buccochromis was probably about 7 inches. So just like that, 7 inches, maybe 7.5 inches. I actually told somebody on the phone today they were 10 inches, but they were definitely not that big. So see, it works. So I do like cheese curds too. I actually like the cheese crackers. Wasn't ulcers. Bingo, Medina cichlids. So I start seeing this stuff everywhere. The Buccochromis' face, he slides out because he's tucked away in the back. Oh, heck yeah. Should we tip her? Heck no. We won't tip. No. What? Ah! Ow, ow, ow. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. So the Buccochromis comes front and center, and bam, it looks like it was ugly. And I start looking at fish after fish, and I'm taking roll call like a substitute teacher, making sure nobody skipped class. I'll be damned if Culminaris wasn't moving through my tank faster than herpes, just faster than herpes, where herpes would go fast. Brian Paul, it is very treatable. However, it is a pain. I'm going to use a couple choice words. It's a pain in the ass, number one. And two, it almost seems like there's not an end to it. So I'm actually going to tell you something that I was reserved in telling you folks ahead of time because, one, I didn't feel comfortable doing it, but I had no other choice. Yes, faster than herpes through Arizona State University. Somebody gave that to me. So methylene blue also helps treat Culminaris, right? I probably should have did another one, but I was so frustrated with the blue in my tank that I had to try something else, right? I had to try something else. So with a 50-plus gallon sump and 220-ish gallons of water, that is a lot of medicine. Every treatment medicine on the back of a Fritz Aquatics bottle tells you, actually, do I have one? No, I'm not leaving right now. Tells you, highly recommend a smaller tank or a med tank. Even a company that I am working for and with has been giving this information all along, which is exactly one of the reasons why I aligned with this company and was willing to accept their opportunity. Because they care just as much as we do about what we keep. And so my dumbass decided to put 3 stupid fish in there that I could have waited, and I could have set up a quarantine tank, but I had to get it up because I had to show it, because I had to be back on the Malawi scene. So I continue to treat with Maricin. It is the perfect medicine to treat Culminaris, and I noticed that it wasn't moving. And so I was getting ready to leave last weekend, right? Big fish deal's coming up. My tank's in disarray. Valentine's Day is quickly approaching. And even though Mindy and I don't do anything of a to-do, I didn't want to do fish stuff because I wanted to do things that she wanted me to take care of. You know, the honey to-do list, so to speak. So I started pulling fish, and I was offing them left and right. I was culling them, for a lack of better terms. 9 freaking fish gone. Just one after another. The sad part is when you get halfway through those, you're almost just in the zone where you're not even thinking about it anymore. 7.5 Buccochromis, gone. Ruby red, gone. Malawi, gone. Esox, gone. I'm not going to bore you with how many fish were gone. However, my catfish from 6.5 years ago somehow remain to be alive still and are thriving. They've been through like 8 moves and 1,800 catastrophes. 9 flippin' fish. And it has nothing to do with the amount of money that I've put into the fish or that I've paid for the fish. It has everything to do with how careless I was. I talked to Mindy and she's like, and she's cool about it. You should have had a quarantine tank. Why didn't you have a quarantine tank? Because I was excited, because I didn't want another aquarium in the house, because I didn't want to have to put it in another room. I didn't want to have to do all those things. So here I am, I ripped the tank apart, I'm pulling. Mind you, I have shrimp and snails and everything under I also have to be concerned about. And while it's great to add another tank, at that moment, I was kicking myself in the ass for doing it. And I apologize, I don't normally swear, but I'm upset. I've got... my sand goes gray. I can't get it ungray, and it's nobody's fault but my own because I had to use methylene blue. So I added, Mindy said she didn't even really like the tan sand, to be honest, and I liked it. So I rescaped it. I added some, crushed coral and a little bit of gravel and some river stones. It's cloudy as all get out. You still can't see through it. Because I just have issue after issue after issue. So those fish that I was essentially waiting for are now on hold until next week because I did start setting up a med tank last night. However, the electricity in 2 rooms was out. So we had the warranty people from the house over today to fix that issue. And I'm not complaining. All of this is my fault. So none of this would have happened. The electricity, the issues, the problems, the culling of the fish, all of that. None of this stuff would have happened if I would have just trusted the process. Had a damn quarantine set up. 15 gallons in a closet. I've said this before. So now one is going to run. If I know fish are en route, yes, I have the ability to get turbo start, boom, immediately add nitrifying bacteria and have it jamming. So I will have that tank running. And so somebody asked me how I cull fish. I said this a long time ago in another live stream. I don't like using freezing. I highly, highly discourage flushing. Please stop flushing your fish. Please stop flushing your fish. I net them and this is going to sound corny, but I do. I actually talk to the fish before I do it because I don't know how to not be comfortable in that situation. The fish hasn't done anything to me. I have no aggression towards it. I have nothing but I've been taking care of you and doing water changes and feeding you and trying to do the best I can. And I failed you. And now I don't want you to continue to suffer. And I don't want you to infect other fish. So I make a swift, blunt, it's a swift, blunt movement. It's one time. It's instant. Knock on wood. I've never not missed. So I don't have to do it twice. It's one time. And then depending on what's going on, I either bury them or I live in an area where there are, wild animals. So kind of leave 1 or 2 out there in hopes that, you're trying to make the best out of the situation. So maybe, the raccoon or the coyote that's running around outside can have a quick meal. And I always try to make the best of it, but that sucks. So tank is not done. It won't be shown. That's just the way it is. Medina just said it. There's no easy way to cull. Culling's real. It happens in breeding. Honestly, it happens in pretty much everything when people are trying to breed a proper strain. So yeah, it sucks. So the fish that I still have in the tank, because somebody asked, I still have the white lip. Surprisingly enough, this is a very good plug for a business. Out of all the fish I got from Trevor O'Shea, not one of them succumbed to it. Now, Imperial Tropicals, I got 2 smaller fish, but I still have most of their other fish, but 2 of the smaller fish didn't make it. So I've got the white lip, I got the Star Sapphire, the Red Empress, I've got the Sulphur Head German strain, which is like, I mean, it's like blanketed. I've got the Trout, Venustus, I've got the Malawi Eye Biter, 2 catfish, the Niger Ventor, and the Mylandi sulfur head, the actual sulfur head, and surprisingly the Holitania, who I thought was going to be a goner but shows no symptoms. Sorry, hold on, I'm just pooping. I had a really weird burger tonight, I think. Lumpy Shrubs, if you were intended to text that to your girlfriend, that is freaking epic. So if somebody could screenshot that for me and tag me on Facebook, Lumpy Shrubs is... That's awesome. And then I'm watching people communicate back and forth. So does anybody have any questions about what happened? Does anybody have any words of discouragement for me for screwing up? Lisa's Aquatics, what's going on? Lisa's Aquatics is pretty big into saltwater now, huh? She used to be the freshwater girl. Now she's jamming on the old marine tanks. I heard you were doing big things with your tank. Yeah, so let me talk about that. That's a good segue. So my wife's always in the clutch. What do you say? It's exactly what just happened to 2 of my rainbows. Man, I'm sorry. Don't keep kicking yourself over this. Many people will take this wisdom you pass on and learn from your mistakes. And honestly, I really appreciate that. I was talking to Adam C., and we're just guys that sit in front of the camera. We're girls, guys that sit in front of the camera. I'm not a guy girl. I'm just a guy, but there are girls that do this. There are kids that do this. And we're no different other than the fact that we do this. So yeah, we make mistakes, but it is very frustrating regardless. If there was no camera, I would be beating myself up just as bad. And Mindy could attest to this because she's always like, look, you made the mistake, learn from it. Stop talking about something and actually do it. Mindy's really good at, firing back at me and get me back on track. But, yeah, it still sucks. So I do appreciate that. And when Adam C. and I were talking, he had said, out of all this, at least when we do make a video, it will sit out in the internet for a while and folks can learn from that mistake and potentially not make the same mistake you did. So don't make the mistake of just saying, oh, I trust them. I trust Trevor O'Shea from The Wonder of Cichlids. I trust Mike Droddy and Jacob Tallman from Imperial Tropicals. I trust the Cichlid Shack. I trust Southeast Cichlids. I trust my local fish store. I trust my buddy down the street. I trust your freaking... You just have to trust a quarantine tank, a med tank. It's the only thing you trust. And then trust in the process, and the outcome will be a hell of a lot better than this was. I had a tank dubbed the Tank of Death for the same reason. I lost a whole strain of guppies, like 50 fish and an angel, and all my mystery snails. Surprisingly, Susan, I did lose 1 mystery snail, but I don't know if I can attribute to the whole thing because the other 2 are doing perfectly fine. They're actually moving a lot. They're very gregarious when they're eating. But now I have a huge shrimp. I have a huge snail outbreak. So I have to figure that out other than a Sarah shrimp trap. I am thinking about hiring a couple of fish for a quick little run through my sump because, of course, they're not getting to the main tank. They're only in the sump. So besides Trevor and Imperial Tropicals, where else have you gotten your Malawi cichlids? If you don't want to plug, I'll PM later. No, that's So the rest were mine that I had. So I had, and there's an exo in there. There's an exochromis in there. So I had a bunch of fish prior to coming over. Those were from Southeast Cichlids. And so the exo didn't come over, and neither did the trout. Was it the trout? Anyways, 2 of the fish were females, and I lost an M. Chus in there. So 2 of the fish were females. My exo was 100% female. Oh, and it was the trout, and the trout was female. And so I didn't bring those over. So I think I had the Venustus and the eye biter and the Holitania are from Southeast Cichlids from way back in the day. I was trying to grow out the trout and the exo. It turns out they're a female, so tough titty said the kitty, but the milk was still good. And I just gave those to somebody that needed them. And so those are the only 2 places outside of Southeast Cichlids. So you've got Imperial Tropicals and Trevor, the Wonder of Cichlids. Now I have a shipment of fish coming from Fish Hut of New Jersey. So Rich, I don't want to say he became a friend overnight. I knew of Rich. Rich knew of me. We chit-chatted. I've sent people to his store before. He had carried Northfin. We met again at the Aquatic Experience. We chit-chatted. We stayed in contact. I helped some people get fish. I would send people to his store. That's what I like doing. I like keeping tight-knit groups in terms of where people go, so that when you do go someplace and you have a problem, I know how to rectify it really fast instead of trying to send you just go wherever. So yeah, I trust in what I'm saying because I trust those people. So he said he's going to be sending me. I told him, look, this is what we got. This is how many I'm looking for. You pick them out, send them, and we'll get everything squared away. And so they're coming next week. And then Josh Cunningham, Joshy boy, he's going to be sending me a heterodon, Autopharynx heterodon, and a Christie. And if you don't know Josh, he's got a kick butt strain of Christie. How do you know when all Culminaris is gone? So honestly, Gordon, it's like ick. It could be present. You'd never know just because your fish are completely healthy. So based on what I'm looking for actual signs that Culminaris is there. So I treated with Maricin again. So I did, I think, 3 total treatments of Maricin, 2 treatments of methylene blue. I wanted to do malachite green, but as you know, malachite green doesn't do well with shrimp or snails. So I had to stay away from that. And yes, the quarantine is ready. It is in the far room. It has power as of today. It's cycled. It's instant cycle with turbo start. So we're good. So I will not be making that mistake again, regardless. I trust Josh. I trust Rich, but I got to trust the process. I'm not messing this Shaztakis up again. But honestly, Gordon, you don't know that it's gone. So the idea is I am actively just watching the aquarium, looking for symptoms. I have not seen any. And honestly, I left for the weekend after I did my final treatment. So they didn't eat. I fed them when I got back. 100% of them ate, that's a fantastic sign. No more clamped fins. That's a fantastic sign. Everybody's actively swimming. The tank, however, is still cloudy. The parameters are good. So I'm going to do a little bit of fine filtering in some canisters to try to speed that up. And that's it. So that's how I believe Culminaris is gone, is it's been a full week. I see no symptoms. And I've done multiple treatments. I feel confident that as long as I keep my fish healthy and quarantine the rest of the new fish coming in, that it will be gone. So sometimes it could take longer than that. Sometimes it could be shorter than that. But it was about 10 days of treating multiple different things. And I don't go crazy. Wasn't adding methylene blue and adding Maricin, although you can, because you can add a lot of these medications concurrently. However, you just got to watch for ammonia spikes. And I just didn't want to have to worry about that stress on top of it. So just worrying about ammonia spikes in general with medication, I didn't want to add to it. Best wishes, Jay. Thanks for venting. We all need to be reminded. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. So what's the highest GPH pump you would get for an 150 gallon? Just trying to cut more time on my water changes. Oh, dude, I have like a freaking 3,200, or is it 3,200 or like 2,800? go crazy, brother. Just go crazy. It's not going to hurt anything. As long as your hose is big enough, you're good. So, hey, everyone from Dallas, Irving, Texas. The connection is weird. Is it pausing for anyone? I don't know. I'm at 55 minutes, but I want to get to this. So I had the opportunity to be at the Big Fish deal. Fritz Aquatics. We had a table. We were having fun. Really cool show, by the way. Completely different. I say this, but it's because I'm going to shows that are different. However, speaker in the vendor room. Speaker goes on. Vendors chill out. You get to watch the speakers. Really great, tight-knit community. Really, really, really well done. When I say I didn't see any issues, nobody was freaking out, nobody was running, cutting people's heads off and, pulling hair out. It was awesome. Yes, if you have extreme cases of Colmenares, people have just cut the whole tank down. That was the last resort, and you bleach it. That's how bad Colmenares can be. But I believe that I got it all squared away. So while I was there, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm simply saying that I am finally going to, I can't say finally, I am getting even closer to my main goal of being in the fish hobby this long, and that is to become a speaker at some local fish club events, maybe one day to speak at the ACA, maybe the OCA, maybe a show of that caliber. That is the goal. Is to get in front of people, not in front of a camera, but live and actually talk about these things and be a completely different speaker than what you're used to. And that will be the truth. If you watch some of my videos, you know I will be much different than anybody you've ever seen, and you better be ready because it's interactive. So the neat part is I was approached a couple times, it was 3 times. And I heard you're a speaker. No. I heard you're a speaker. No. I heard you give talks. No. However, I do want to do that. So I'm willing to, what is your club looking for? What is it that folks are missing from these talks? So the CCA and I are in talks right now for me to give a talk. I'm hoping that it works out. It seems pretty close. It will be somewhere in Maryland, DC, Virginia area. And I'm hoping it's around the April timeframe. I've told nobody this other than Mindy and my job. So you guys are the first to know that this could potentially be something. So I would highly recommend you go check out this idiot if he gives the talk in April. If it goes well, it'll be April 14th. The end goal of this is I want to continue to inspire and educate in a much different platform. I can do this on camera. I could do this one-on-one, but to sit in front of a bunch of people with a really good presentation and talk about things and deliver that without you falling asleep, hopefully, without you getting annoyed, hopefully, and really just raise the bar in what I'm doing in my career. I mean, honestly, I've kind of made a career out of this. YouTube is not a career. I don't make a ton of money out of YouTube. It's fun for me. I enjoy interacting with folks. But moving and being a part of Universal Rocks was that first step into making the hobby a career. And then now working with Fritz Aquatics takes it up an even bigger notch because they are solely aquatic related. So now I'm going to more shows in front of more people, potentially speaking. Now the bar for myself, I just keep raising. I'm not worried about anybody else. I'm only competing with myself. So if I'm better tomorrow than I am right now, then that means that I'm doing something right. So to be in the position to be asked that is simply huge. Maybe to be a part of a panel at the Big Fish deal or the OCA or something in the future would even be a bigger highlight to what I'm doing. To be able to sit next to some amazing people in research and conservation and, the epitome of what we look at when we're talking about hobbyists and breeders and prolificators of a specific species, that to me that's the goal. Those are the goals for me. So as I was leaving, I was talking to a couple people and I said, I want to help you guys in some way, shape, or form. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Is the 3D background you have in the background, you guys have that for 125. Would that be okay for Peacock and Hab Tank? Yes, 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 and yes. Call Deepwater, universalrocks.com, Jay Wilson for the 15% off. But So I reached over and I said, how can I help you? And they're like, oh, just grab these. Grab these. And do us a favor. And, whatever you want to do. So I paid $0 for these, but I will charge $20 for the t-shirts. That includes shipping. They will not make these anymore because they are limited run. 2019 Big Fish Deal 7. They are on northfinusa.com for $20. 100% of the sales will go back to the CCA. I promise you. 100% of the sales. $20. I have limited sizes. I have medium all the way to 2XL. $20. The shirt will not be made again. If you didn't go to the show, there is going to be nobody that is doing this. So this is your opportunity to have something from the Big Fish Deal 7 in your wardrobe, in your fish room, rocking and rolling. The only way to get them is to go to northfinusa.com. You pay $20. It includes shipping, and you get this. 100% of the proceeds, minus shipping, will go back to the CCA. I promise you. I will make sure that I'm in constant contact with Christine, who is the one that ran the Big Fish Deal. I will make sure I'm liaisoning back with Sean, who is the one that I talked to about this. I want to help the CCA. The Capital Cichlid Association does some freaking fantastic things, and to watch them in their mode at the Big Fish Deal, it's not a huge event by no means, but it is a well-run, intimate event. Highly recommend you check out Big Fish Deal 8. If you're in the Virginia, Maryland, DC, Pennsylvania, Jersey area, become a member of the CCA. Please, it's not that expensive, and you don't have to attend every meeting, but you will be around some amazing people. $20, 100% of the proceeds are going to go back to the CCA. There are also koozies available. I think they're $4.50, free shipping. I had to price them the right way so that shipping was in it. And of course, 100% of the proceeds will go back to the CCA for this. Honestly, the CCA does not know exactly what I'm doing. So they are not a part of this in any way. They don't know this is happening other than the fact that I said, I want to help you. How much for this stuff? They said, take it, do your thing. That's all they know. So I'm doing my thing. So please check out northfinusa.com. They don't have any pictures. It'll say BFD shirt. It'll be koozie for BFD, and you can get, some of that action. Now, I'm not ending yet. So if you get off, it's your loss. northfinusa.com. Get that stuff. March 1st, we have new rewards. It's going to be crazy. But now we're going to give away those 6 rulers. So if you leave, it's a sad thing. If you receive this ruler, if you win, please, 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 please do a video, a Facebook post, a social media post, anything. I am paying my own money for shipping, and I bought these with my own money. I'm simply asking you to do a little bit of a review and to talk about it for me. Okay? So here we go. Not man rulers, real rulers. They suction cup on your tank, inside or outside, for you to measure your fish. It's from a guy that has a company called Watch M Grow. He's got hats and t-shirts. You can check him out on Facebook and his own website. He's an entrepreneur in the fish hobby doing his thing, and he's doing it differently than anybody else. I showed it to you early on in the video, so if you get off the video, go back. Here's how it goes down. Are you ready? You, in succession right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the people that do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 first are the first 6 people that will get this ruler and go. All you got to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in order. So if you mess up, hit the right number, and you got to keep going. You got to go back and do it again. It's got to get crazy. Got to get crazy. And they have to be in order. So don't be crazy and go from 1 to 6 or 1 to 5 and somebody doesn't do 3, 4 yet, because that's not how that works. Got to be in succession. I'll go through. Nice try, Brian Paul, but Candy Overhauls, that was not how to do it. You put 1, next person puts 2, but if they already put 1, then they have to go back and put 2. It's a game. It's fun. It's having a good time. And it's, why is Mindy even participating? But what? She's going to give hers away. We're giving them anyways. And can I still use my points? Well, March 1st, everything resets with some new points. They ended the 14th or the 15th. And the new point system is going to be better. VIP is going to be crazy. Honestly, I restructured everything. There's free shipping after $35. So if you're getting your North Fin off of Amazon or eBay, and it's cheaper than what my prices are on the normal, those are unauthorized sellers. Absolutely. If you're getting it from somebody that's even a penny less, they're unauthorized seller of North Fin fish food. However, if they're selling it for the same exact prices, they can sell it for higher. But if they're selling it for the same prices, then you're getting it from an authorized place. So when you go to Amazon and you go to eBay, you have to be very careful because sometimes it is not authorized and it is not helping the cause, so to speak. So if you're getting it from Super Cichlids, you're buying North Fin, awesome. It doesn't affect me in essence of you're not putting, somebody said, well, I'm buying North Fin, so I put money in your pocket. No, that's not how that works. I don't own North Fin. I own North Fin USA. So the idea is, and I'm letting you know that t-shirts are selling out. My mediums just sold out. And so the Big Fish Deal 7 shirts, get on it, folks, northfinusa.com. So March 1st, new launch. It's going to be epic. I'm pretty sure the rulers are done. It is not fake. It is real. If they are selling it a penny, it may be bitter competition that just wants to beat you out of a sale. It's unauthorized. They're going against all the rules set forth by North Fin, and so they are unauthorized to sell. I'm sorry to tell you. So there is a chance that your food can show up expired. But if you're ordering it from somebody like Super Cichlids who sells online, who sells on Amazon and sells on eBay, then that is legit. That is Super Cichlids. I cannot attest for everybody that sells North Fin because I don't know everyone. This dude put 69. That is not a thing. However, if you are buying North Fin from, and again, I'll put Martin and Lisa back on the plate. If you buy it from Martin and Lisa, it doesn't help me in any way. But it helps them, which is good. They're opening their store. They've got a family. This is their business. They're selling a ton of products. When you buy from northfinusa.com, that directly affects me. I'm the one signing those cards, and I'm the one shipping that food out. I'm not bitter if you go somewhere else. That's up to you. You want to go to Amazon? Be cautious because there are people out there that are not authorized. They're doing stuff that is potentially hurting the hobby in terms of what we're doing. People say, oh, I don't carry it in my local fish store because it sells like crazy on this place. Well, those people could be unauthorized. So North Fin does a really good job of cutting everybody. And I think there's like 1 or 2 folks that we're trying to get rid of. And then it'll be good. So if you want to sell North Fin, please sell it. But just respect the rest of the retailers because there's a big enough pie for everyone. So any of stories you hear where, oh, these guys are beefing, bro. Check them out. They're beefing over North Fin fish food, bro. They're not beefing. There was no beef. There are a lot of misunderstandings, and there's a lot of things that's said that's never said face-to-face. But at the end of the day, there's only one mission, and it's to put North Fin up. So if you're buying from North Fin USA, you're buying from Super Cichlids, or you're buying from another authorized, reputable place, awesome. Keep feeding that epic food. But if you're not, well, it's none of my business. So I'll go through this for the rulers. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. We're going to go over plants on Sunday. That video is going to be pretty snazzy. I'll show this tank at some point. Share this video. Talk to somebody. Become a member of your local fish club. And book your calendars for April because if I'm speaking, I want to pack that room out. and maybe I'll bring donuts or sweet tea or something. I don't know. But I think it'd be really cool if you live in that area to check it out. And if not, become a member of your local fish club. Thank you so much for participating, for coming in. This is the ultimate troll, Jay Wilson. Who's the ultimate troll? Me? We still low-key waiting on flakes. Good things come to those who wait, my friend. With that being said, you know what's next. Holla!